Want to hear the most annoying sound in the world? Guys!
That doesn't sound quite right, does it? If you've ever heard that noise from your RC car, the problem is going to be your motor. The bushings in these motors, over time they wear out, and I call them getting spun. They get to the point where the bushings wore out, and the shaft on there for the rotor just spins and creates a lot of vibration, gets a lot of dirt in there. You can see that it's a little bit wet right now. I put a little bit of oil on there. And if I hold the trigger down, you can see the noise is still there a little bit, but for the most part it's kind of gone. So about your only option once you get to that point is probably to just keep oiling the engine if you just want to, kind of limp it along, or the best option is just to go ahead and replace it. So there's our new motor. Yep, I'm going to go ahead and throw the motor in there. So the first thing I have to do to change the motor on these Slashes or Rustler or Bandit or Stampede is take off the gearbox cover. So I got the motor out, and you can see that there's a lot of grime inside of that motor, and that's what causes these bushings to wear out. That grime gets between the shaft and that bushing and just wears them out. So I've cleaned them off. I've taken these out and put them in water, getting all this grime out of there, and it helps a little bit. But once these bushings are wore out, there's pretty much nothing that you can do. So anyway, I'll go ahead and get this motor swapped out. So the pinion on this is pretty tight. This is the original pinion. Just going to have to use a screwdriver, flathead screwdriver to pull that off there, and it should come right off. Put the motor out, we'll go ahead and put that pinion on there. Now some people use Loctite on these pinion set screws. I don't. But if you want to, go ahead. It's not going to hurt anything. So once that's in there, go ahead and get your pinion gear lined up with your spur gear, and then go ahead and tighten it down. Alright, the motor's all nice and tight in there, the pinion gear's on there, so we'll go ahead and get the gear cover on and put the tires back on it. Now these screws here, you don't want to over tighten these down because they will strip out on you. Just get them to where they're barely snug. So that sounds really nice. That sounds a lot better than the other worn out one. So that engine ought to last a while, hopefully. So anyway, I think that's going to wrap this video up. If you liked what you saw, hit the like button and subscribe. I appreciate you watching. So before I let you go here, I thought the video was over, but I thought of something else. I'm going to show you how I've cleaned these motors and gotten a little bit more life out of these before replacing them. Seems like you can kind of limp them along, and this is something that will kind of help you limp them along. I take some simple green, spray the inside of that motor with it. Go ahead and take a jar, put some water in it. And I'm going to hook this up to the speed controller. So let me go ahead and do that. I'm going to put this in the jar here. I'm going to go ahead and take the controller, and I'm just going to barely run this motor, and you're going to see how much dirt comes out of this. So this is why these motors go bad. All that dirt that's in there just wears that bushing out. I'll go ahead and dump this out, and we'll throw some more water in there and keep cleaning it. Batteries flying everywhere. So you can see that water is a lot cleaner than it was before. So all that dirt is out of there. And go ahead and just blow the water out of there, re-grease it, and you'll get a little bit more life out of that motor before you need to replace it. So anyway, thought I'd throw that little tip in there at the end of the video. So and again, appreciate you watching.